Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, Classic / Non-Classic. This is episode number 754 and Doubleshot number 658. I got one DC trade and one trade from IDW. First up, it's Black Canary, Volume 2, the new Killer Star. Yeah, this is the final trade that collects issues from Black Canary Volume 4. Yes, this is probably by far the third library trade in a row I've actually done this for this. Well, I kind of wanted to wrap up reviewing these particular series. I figured, why the heck not? This is the writing in here. Pretty much all the issues in here, except for like one story, is written by Brandon Fletcher. Yep. Artwork in here is done by Zeddy Giroux, Marat, Annie Wu, and Wayne Fatcher. Annie Wu does the cover. I should point out, though, that one of the stories in here is done by Matthew Rosenberg. Yep, he does one of the stories in here. Yeah, it's a story, I think from pages, I think it's from Gotham Academy from the yearbook special. Yeah, it's so surprising, though. I kind of forgot he actually did do a story for Gotham Academy. It's the only books I could think of. When I think of Matthew Rosenberg, these are the books I think of. Kingpin, Rock Raccoon, The Resurrection of Phoenix. Let's see, what else? There's also Punisher, Secret Warriors, Tales of Suspense, and that's only his Marvel stuff. I kind of forgot about his other stuff, but I never read any of his independent stuff, but I did read this. This collects issues 8 through 12, Gotham, a couple stories, basically from Gotham Academy 17, and a special preview of Batgirl and the Birds of Prey Rebirth. Yeah, Batgirl and Birds of Prey was meant to be a replacement for Black Canary. Yep. Simply put, this kind of pretty much wraps up this whole series. Now, the Black Canary band are in fact referenced in the Batgirl and Birds of Prey comic book. Not referenced in Batgirl, mind you. Yeah, her band simply... Now, during the course of the story, her ex-husband dies, Kurt Lance, and she also gets briefly kidnapped by this group of, let's say, ninjas, has her powers briefly taken away, well, basically put a power collar on her, and then she tries to use her canary cry, and then she's stopped by a chain. One thing I don't like about this particular set of issues, it's like she tries to use her canary cry, and they keep stopping her from doing it. Did Brandon Fletcher have a thing against her using her canary cry in these issues? I don't know, it's really weird. She gets free, and she gets freed by Vixen of all people. Yep, Vixen. Yeah, she had not appeared for a little while, though she did reappear after this in a page Just Like America. Oh, I don't have any idea what the heck she's up to. Let's see. Those of you who don't know who Vixen is, she is a creation of Jerry Conway. Yes, I've actually spoken to him about his character. She first showed up at pages of Action Comics 521, created by Jerry Conway and Bob Oscar. If you look up her first print, she looks a lot different than she does nowadays. Yeah. Let's see. Yep. Yeah, she didn't appear that much in New 52. No, she appeared in an issue of Justice League International. She later showed up in Justice League. And then after that, she showed up here. And then after that, she's in Justice League America, where she's technically the leader of the team. That's why like Batman's pulling her strings behind the scenes. I kind of basically tweeted the benches if they include Vixen in the back of Prince Bay comic, but nope. Apparently Steve Orlando probably scooped her up so I put her there. But this overall was a fantastic series. They even have a possible future of her and Green Arrow getting married. Yeah, her and Green Arrow. Of course, this later teases the eventual time when they actually meet in Green Arrow Rebirth #1. Yeah, overall, fantastic comic book. Even Amanda Waller shows up in here, which is a bit of a surprise because, I guess, outside Suicide, because she does make occasional appearances outside Suicide Squad. Here it kind of makes sense because this is during New 52. She was in the past, during 5 years prior to present day. This, of course, was New 52 time scale, though they restored the proper time scale with Rebirth. She was part of a group called Team 7, where her ex-husband Kurt Lance was part of the group, along with John Lynch, who was Wildstorm's Nick Fury, I think Alex Wilder, who was the father of Caitlin, not Alex Wilder, Alexander Fairchild, who was the father of Caitlin Fairchild from Gen 13, who also appeared in Superboy and Ravengers. Deathstroke, who technically wasn't called Deathstroke, was just called Slade Wilson. It was an interesting one. It was mixed between Wildstorm and DC characters, and she was part of the group. Yeah, so they basically had to go off the grid and do whatever the heck she want. Yeah, but I'm kind of glad the fact that she was featured in a lot of books recently. She was featured in 3 books after this one. But I'm going to give this one 9.5 out of 10, yeah. After the series ended, she was featured in 3 books for the next 2 years. She was featured in Green Arrow, Batgirl and the Birds of Prey, and Just Like America. And guess what? 2 series ended just recently. Yeah, those 2 series ended this past May. Green Arrow, Ben Perseus ended her run, and apparently the writers keep forgetting to put in a damn comic book. Yeah, she has missed the past several issues that come out. As far as I know, there has not been an explanation for it at all. Hopefully she's going to appear in the next issue because the Bensons have just taken over the Green Arrow book. But this overall was really good, but overall, this was a very brief run. Yeah, I'm going to my final thoughts on this. My biggest problem with this run was the delays. Like, oh my gosh, this book suffered 2 heavy delays. Like, this happened, like, right after issue 5 came out. Apparently, let's just start coming out with the book whenever we feel like it. It took a long time for this damn book to come out. As a matter of fact, the last issue was delayed. I'm not kidding. If you look at the publication, it's for every single issue after issue 5. The series was kept delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed. As far as I know, Brandon Fletcher himself has never come out and stated exactly what the heck was up with the damn delays. Yeah. Oh, and I love this thing here. Cult of Personality. It's actually the name of a song. Yep. Yeah. Cult of Personality was a song that was used for CM Punk's intro music, which is a great song, by the way. But yeah, that's my only problem with this series was the delays. The story was at least interesting. It was a new concept for Black Canary. Her being a singer was an interesting idea. And I even like the fact that they kind of put her back in the fishnet stockings thing. Because this has been kind of missing ever since New 52 started. Her costume was fine. I don't have a problem with her costume. But also, I've got to point this out. This is a really cool moment. We can see her in several different costumes that she's worn over the years, including the most recent one. Yeah, it was part of a joint hallucination that she had. They even have Batgirl show up in here as well, which I thought was really nice. But let me show off this awesome panel done by the artist. Yeah, where it shows up like a bunch of Black Canaries. Let's see here. Where is it? Here it is. Yeah, this awesome moment where it shows up all these Black Canaries. Because, oh yeah, those of you curious about the Domino Mask one, that's actually the Golden Age Black Canary. The one with the black trench coat, that's kind of like the modern day one. The one with the white boots, that's actually the one from 1980s. I think it was Tripper Freeman who actually designed this costume. Yeah, I believe it was because he was working on, I think he was working on Detective Comics at that point. But yeah, it's great to see, for this panel, see all these classic, all these great Black Canary costumes. Yep. I had to point that out though, but this was definitely a good series. I definitely praise it for that. Not much else to say because it was so brief. I'd say books like Nightwing Volume 3 or Catwoman or some of the other books they recently wrapped up reviews for. This was a short-lived series. I was so surprised to see it end, but I'm glad the fact that afterwards she was featured in, well, first 2 comic books, and then they had a 3rd one, and now she's featured in nothing. I'm not kidding about this. She's not featured in a comic book since, well, I think not since, like, Justice League No Surrender. Yep, okay, moving on. Now we have Optimus Prime Volume 2. Yeah, no subtitle with this one. Just called Volume 2. This collects issues 7 through 10 of the series in the Transformers Annual 2017. Written by John Barber, who was obviously the guy who wrote a lot of Transformers comics. Mostly this guy did a lot of Transformers miniseries. This is one of like 2 ongoing series he did for the Transformers comic line. He did the Robots in Disguise series / Transformers Volume 2 for IDW, and he did this series. He also recently did the Doctor Strange series right after Jason Aaron left for the first 20 issues. He took over with issue 21. I think he left around like after the Secret Empire time, but excuse me, despite that, he's never anything supernaturally for because Mostly he's stuck basically to Transformer comics. I gotta say, his Doctor Strange book was actually really good. If I get hands on those Doctor Strange trades, I'm gonna review them. The artwork in here is done by Priscilla Tomarcano, KCW Collar, Kai Kazmila, and Levitt Ramadel. Mostly, not a lot of action issues. Mostly, it's just, well, Optimus Prime doing diplomatic stuff, setting up few cities. It's overall a really great set of issues, and it does progress what the series is trying to do. Basically, it's just the Earth team for Transformers, but the title is called Optimus Prime. And I'm glad the fact that he gets a lot of attention for basically a title called Optimus Prime, despite the fact it's just a continuation of the Transformers title. Yeah. But I don't want to spoil anything too else about this. It's just really good. And the annual is just basically exploring some off-mission. They do reference it in an issue, which do set it up. Yeah, it's odd though when it comes to a particular series. The series got Optimus Prime, and yet the annual is called Transformers, which is weird. Technically, it's the first annual for the series. But I'm gonna give this one a 9.5 out of 10. It's really good. All right, so that's it for this episode. Yeah, and that's also it for all the library trades I have. Yeah, next 2 episodes, books I own. As a matter of fact, I think it's next 4 episodes I'm gonna do, but 2 I'm gonna do right now. They're gonna be on trades I own. Okay, but to see the next review. Bye.